Good morning, everybody. We are. Oh, great! Now I gotta retype everything because it didn't save. I'm typing the banner, but I did see Michael in the chat. Morning, and welcome. Chandra and I both woke up late. Like, it's normal for me to wake up late because I'm trying to hold on to as much sleep as possible. But Chandra woke up late and still looks fabulous. So she's the queen.
What happened was I hit snooze about 4 times.
I know the feeling.
And then I was like, I actually hit snooze again. And then I was like, what time is it?
Like, let me confirm this before.
And I just really have to thank my computer for having my back in this situation because it booted right up and it didn't give me any trouble whatsoever.
Oh, it finally did its job.
I know. I was shocked because I was like, I'm probably going to have to move my microphone over to my other computer and show up without a camera. I told you that I got a webcam, but it shuts my computer down.
I didn't know it shuts your computer down. I remember you getting one.
Mm-hmm. That's why I haven't switched over to using my other computer. I have to figure out what's causing that, and maybe like patch some stuff and see if that fixes it. But I just haven't had time to sit down and be like, why are you doing this to me? And, just generally taking it personally.
Mm-hmm. Medicine reminder for anyone who needs it. Because I always forget. But luckily, I've gotten smart and I set it on my desk. Because even though this is my work desk during the week and my writing desk, being right here, like, I'm always here at some point. Even if it's just to grab my laptop and go sit somewhere else. Wow. I'm one of those people, I have to swallow, like, have water in my mouth, then put the pill in. Because if I start to feel the pill break down in my mouth before I swallow it, I'm like, nope. I don't do well with liquid medicine. I don't do well with, like, dissolving medicine. I want it, like, down the hatch and gone.
Yeah.
Go do your business elsewhere.
I'm going to have to restart my browser.
No.
Well, okay, I say that, but I have, like, a bunch of other stuff running also, and I haven't restarted my browser in probably a couple weeks. So
yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
I just realized I got the wrong background. There we go. I put like a blue lagoon background for a bit. I was doing a live stream or something. Oh, I think it was the watch party for Good Omens. Last time I did that.
I think I'm going to read the book.
The book is good, but I will say it's a lot of characters. And that's the only benefit to watching first.
I'm also reading Game of Thrones, so.
My husband just got that the 4 books while he was at Goodwill and saw 2 of them by themselves. And he's like, surely someone didn't just donate 2. And he walked around, and then in the book section, he found the other 2, and he verified on Amazon. He's like, sweet. Got it. And they're actually in good condition.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's paperback, but we don't mind secondhand books in this house. All right. Oh. So I've noticed a trend, and I wonder if you've ever had this. So I've been feeling productive, but that's because I'm making sure to, like, write my to-do list everywhere as much as I can. And I'm feeling productive because I'm able to write things down. Like, I even wrote as specific as wash clothes, dry clothes, fold clothes.
I do stuff. I haven't redone my to-do list, like, today. But when I do my to-do list, I started doing that because the serotonin that you get from crossing things off the list gives you more momentum. So even if it's like silly little things, like, making your bed, putting that on the list and then doing it and getting to check it off can give you a little more steam to get other things that suck a bit more.
There was the thing I'm running into though now is that like I'm doing great with that, but now I'm forgetting the things that I used to remember when I didn't write specifics down, which is I used to be able to remember, like my son gets a shower every other day because he's 4, and unless he plays outside, he really doesn't. He's not sweating super active kiddo. Well, he is. He went running around the house last night, but it's not like he's 4. Okay. He doesn't need a shower every day. My daughter was the same way. And I get a shower every other day because honestly, I work from home. What I'm doing now is about as much effort as I exert, unless I'm running that day. And I wash my hair like every 4 days and stuff. So I'm running into an issue where, yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling productive, but I can't remember now when my son got a bath or when I got a shower last or when I washed my hair last. Like those things I used to remember and now I can't.
I shower a lot. Especially if it's really hot, then I tend to shower more just because I'm up and about.
Oh, yeah.
And then if it's cold, I shower sometimes just to get warm.
100%. I did
but
chocolate yesterday.
If I'm working out though, like on days when I'm working out, sometimes I'll end up showering like 2 or 3 times, depending on like what's going on.
Are you putting lotion on after you shower? Because I worry about your skin drying out with that much. Because I'm assuming you're like me and you have the water on lava level.
How did you know?
Because we are cut from the same cloth, my dear. You're closer on the horror side, and I'm closer on the like feel good side. But it crosses over, it melts together.
So I use shower oil.
Oh.
So it's just it's in like a spray bottle and it smells really good, and you just like put it on right before you get out of the shower, and then instead of like, you just blot dry with the towel instead of like, aggressive.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. So I do use that because honestly it works better than lotion for me, but I do also use a body butter instead of lotion. And I get this stuff from Buff City, and they have a narcissist scent that is so nice. It's very.
They aptly named it.
Well, that's also the name of a kind of flower. Which
okay.
I think is funny. I was like, it's also kind of got to be a little weird for me to buy the same thing because it's like my laundry soap is narcissist scent. I have the dryer balls and the wool dryer balls, and they're narcissists.
I feel like I haven't seen commercials for it, but if I was their marketing campaign, I'd be like, it would be that person that's just constantly like grabbing their clothes and going,
"It's me. I do that."
that would be the entire commercial.
Yeah, no, that's how I am with it. But it smells so good. And then, but I did, this time they were out of the laundry detergent. So I got lavender, which is also really nice.
Oh, yeah. No, like lavender makes you feel like you're like calm, serene.
Mm-hmm. But it's got actual lavender oil in it. So it smells really strong, like strongly of lavender, not like strong scent, but like strongly of lavender. And, it's quite lovely. So I think I'm gonna switch over to that for the season.
You ever sign up for something and you're like, I don't see my name? Oh my god, I'm an idiot. So okay, that rhyming NYC midnight rhyming story just got released like at midnight last night.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking up my actual name instead of my pen name.
Oh, that's funny. It do be like that sometimes.
It's that kind of morning where you kind of forget, you know, what you're doing. So Locke, I'm like sitting here scrolling there, and I'm like, I know I signed up for this. I got the bill for it. Luckily, I got 8 days to write this. By the way, this is going to be our second prompt because I know we're going to be running a little bit late.
Oh, I did not sign up for that.
It's fine. You can mute off mine and at least practice.
Yeah. I was had every intention of doing so, but I think probably with school.
Yeah. Well, because this is a commitment if you get, so you got 8 days to write, I think the 8 days to write 600 words right now for this. So it's due October 1st and it was released like last night, midnight. Then you have 5 days, I think is the next, or 4 days to write 500 words if you get into the second round. Then you got 48 hours to write 400 words.
Which, I mean, from what we do, we know it's doable. However, with school and everything, I don't think I have time to do that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, no, don't start that, honey. Where's my pen? God darn it.
Here you go.
Oh, speaking of pens, so I posted it on Instagram last night too, but I did a prompt or a voiceover challenge because there's all of them over TikTok and I've been enjoying it. And the what I ended up doing was this tag up with this guy, and he posted it in like 2020 and I chimed in on it, and I grabbed my G2 pilot pen boxes as a prompt in it, as a prop in it, and it even had my husband belly laughing, like because I was like, if you just look and see what I have, and I hold up the box and the guy goes, listen, I got 10 more of what do you have to, oh, like that. It is his prompt. And I go, yeah, I want to make a deal. And I fan it, and it's 2 boxes now. Like, it took me 2 times to record, but it was great. I loved it.
That's so fun.
Yes, dear. Seriously, I'm serious about my pens. G2 pilot pens, 0.38. It's where it's at.
For me, it's the Precise V5 extra fine rolling ball. These are pilot pens.
I feel like I gotta have extra fine because I've had 0.5 G2 pilot pens and I've had 0.7, and every time I go less and less, I'm like, oh, this is the pen. So now I have 0.38.
So I usually buy a box of these. They have a pack that has different colors in it. So I buy a box of those, and then I buy an extra box of black. And it's almost time for me to buy more pens. Are you hearing an echo?
No, I do not hear an echo.
I
think I'm echoing.
I
wonder if you're
Is that better?
I haven't heard an echo. You're fine.
No, it's me. I'm like, I'm echoing. You're like, I don't hear anything. I'm like, is it better? So my name. Okay. I have a timer pulled up.
Perfect. Oh, and I got the banner. I'm gonna go ahead and share that real quick. Where's my mouse? There we go. Okay.
Too hot to drink.
Oh wait, I gotta copy it. There we go. Alrighty then. Comments. Okay, so today's prompt is, and I should probably open up a Word doc. That might be helpful. Is a harebrained scheme. The words to include are entrepreneur, vermilion. Listen here, computer. I was in the middle of reading. Stop popping up the window that I just clicked for you to open. Know your time. Okay. Vermilion, hazmat, bless, cashier, horseradish, banjo, melt, modify, and woozy.
I have no idea what I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, we're gonna figure this out.
It's a thing. Every writer has their my big
Like,
4-color originals, my pride and joy.
I read that at first and I was like, what? And then I remembered, oh yeah, pens.
Okay,
Gosh,
no.
that's funny.
Are we starting? Are we ready? Are we doing this?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at multiple things across the board, and I'll get to that later. I think. Oh wait, let me write this down. I'm remembering other things of to write down in my planner because I want to make sure I remember them. So, alrighty then, let's get this started. We'll see how much writing we can do.
Joke. We will begin sprint number 1 in 3, 2, and 1.
I'm writing the last sentence, but I'm actually pretty happy with this.
Me too. I just shared it to you.
All right, I'll be handling that. How do you spell forgoed? Like
Spell what?
forgo? Like she forgoed her
She
shoes.
decided to forego her customary cup of coffee. I think it's Forego. I think.
Trying to.
Yeah.
I was trying to put it in past tense.
She had foregone.
Ah, there we go. Thank you. I'm like, forgoed. That's how you do it, right? Okay, yeah, forgone.
So Forego is correct, but it is a variant spelling of Forgo. So you can spell it either way.
Okay. All right, I just got to add this last word, but I already know how. This one, I pieced it together, and then I was like, well, I know where I want to put this word, so I kind of put the ending, and then I put a middle part, and then I had to connect the 3 areas and stuff.
I started to write mine lighthearted, and then I was like, I feel like I've written a lot of really lighthearted things recently. Let me not. And then it took a turn. And then I was like, I'm not really sure what's happening. And then it took a turn.
All I did was laugh. Shh.
I play a game.
Okay, you play your game, and I'm going to play mine. Just to see if I can write. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Eva.
Hi, dear.
Sorry. Did you see that thing where it told what kind of person you are by how you hold your cup of coffee?
No.
I have to find it.
Yes, you got to share it because our entire community, because that could cross over into tea, hot chocolate.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay, here it is.
Yay!
Mug alignment. So there's lawful, good, neutral, chaotic, neutral.
Wait, isn't it like grabbing the top?
That one is chaotic evil.
Yeah.
So the lawful evil is holding it like this.
Yeah.
Neutral evil is like this. Chaotic evil is like that.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. So this is lawful neutral, true neutral, chaotic neutral, which is me, good neutral, and wait, I can't even with this cup because it's too big, but it's like without the hand, it's the pinky up.
Oh, okay.
That is true neutral. I'm gonna have to find this as in a shareable format so I can share it properly because it's true. Oh, I found it. Hold on.
Sharing my story right now.
So whoever shared it was like, "Thanks, I hate chaotic evil," which is the one that holds the cup over the top. Like,
it makes me think of those things of like mildly irritating. And it's like where they organize and then put the last one not in organization or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I got 472 words and helped my son in the bathroom. Yay. Paste.
Yeah, it's called Mug-a-Line, then I'll have to share it to my Instagram story because it's
All right.
top tier.
I just pasted. If you want, you can read mine first so that I can read yours second. And as I've told the chat, we're going to do the rhyming story challenge. I won't be able to read mine out loud because I don't want it to be published, but I will give y'all a rough guide of what I'm writing about. And then, but that will be after we do this, but that'll be our bonus today. But,
okay. Do you want to put that up or get the thingy written up for that while I read yours?
Yes, absolutely.
Okie doke. Here I go. Will you just hear me out before you say no? Claire asked. No, Betsy said, arms folded across her chest. Claire gave her longtime friend a pointed gaze. Betsy unfolded her arms with a sigh and nodded. Claire continued. Okay, so at mealtime, one of us will come out late stating there is an accident. Then the staff will dress in their hazmat suits to handle it. That will clear the common area. Betsy inclined her head, starting to see the plan. Claire smirked, knowing she had her friend. All right, when most of them are occupied, that is the time we make the grab. Whichever of us didn't alert the authorities to the accident will be the runner to grab the goods. I think we need at least 4. 2 for me, 2 for you. If it is you, you gotta be sly. Otherwise, nosy Edith might modify our quantities. Not to mention, I know your eyesight. My eyesight is fine, Betsy retorted. Claire's eyes softened at her friend. Yes, you're right. I just wanted to make sure you know that the prize on the left today, not the right. Otherwise, you might grab extra helpings of horseradish. The friend grimaced. Then we'll make out like we robbed a cashier, Claire said definitively. Got it? Betsy waved Claire off. At 11 a.m. on the dot, Claire wheeled her way out of the room and called over Clarence's banjo playing for a nurse. The nurse came over with a smile and immediately hurried away after speaking to Claire, only to return fully suited up to handle the task of cleaning. Claire locked eyes with Betsy and tapped her nose. Betsy had forgone her walk and shuffled to the serving table, right next to the desserts and condiments. She stopped and scanned the crowd. Edith's back was to her, and she knew she could swipe the left, not the right. Or was it the right, not the left? Making her choice, she stuffed the pockets of her knitted housecoat. Miss Betsy, can I help you with anything? The attendant said, startling Betsy. Betsy stammered. Across the room, Claire started to cough. When the attendant didn't look her way, she coughed louder. Betsy said the first thing that came to her mind. Oh, could you help me back to my walker? I must have forgotten it. I'm feeling woozy. The attendant smiled as she took Betsy by the elbow and helped her back to where she was sitting. Outside on the front porch, the friends basked in their hard-earned blessing. I can't believe we pulled it off, even without it melting, Betsy said as she scooped another spoonful of red Jell-O into her mouth. Hey, I was an entrepreneur before I retired and came to the home, Claire said with a vermilion smile. That is hilarious.
My goal is to beat Betsy and Claire.
Right?
In the nursing home.
Let me see here.
Yeah, there was a few typos and such, but that's the first edition.
I like it. I just tweaked like a couple things that I noticed as I went, but that's the usual. I think so I didn't pick up on it right away.
Well, and that's the way I wanted it, is that I wanted to seem like jail a jail heist or something, and then like at the start of it where you hear Claire wheeled out and Betsy left her walker, forgone her walker, like that's when you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, I thought that was really cute. And also the whole house coat thing and the attendants. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. Also, like, where did she? Did she just? Are these like Jello cups? Because for some reason, when I read it, it made me think that she just took like loose cubes of Jello and put them in
Jello cups. Yeah, I was thinking Jello cups. I wasn't imagining her house coat getting stained red.
But that's 100% where my mind went. Her sitting outside taking cubes of Jello out of her pockets. Also, I thought it was funny that her friend was like, "It's on the," like telling her what side, because I can't even remember now. And she got me tripped up. I was like, "Wait, was it on the right?"
That was me getting tripped up as I was writing it. I was like, "Was it the right or left?" And I was like, "Don't scroll, make it part of the story."
Yeah, I think that adds to it, especially since she like made fun of her eyesight. She's like, "My eyesight is fine."
That was supposed to be like, another little clue and everything.
That it's me though, because my eyesight is not fine.
No.
My uncle had forgotten his glasses, and I handed him mine, and he like put them on, and he was like, "Good gracious, what is wrong with you?" I'm like, I am visually impaired.
I'm not legally blind yet. Okay, thanks.
I said good day.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I think that's a super fun story.
Yeah, I just need to add a few things in, like had forgone, like, so grammar stuff, and then I think I'm gonna add in that as another hint is grabbing 2 spoons. Too, because all of a sudden the spoons appear, and I'm like, "What?" And I was just thinking, how did they get them?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe, maybe that could be part of the distraction, though, where the one who's making the distraction knocks over the spoons on her way to like let the attendant know that there's a problem, and she pockets 2 of them as she's going.
Yeah, or that could be part of like as Claire's coughing, she then knocks over the silverware.
Yeah.
And then and I guess the narrator is omniscient, so I could have them say that Claire pockets 2 spoons.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, I don't have anything to like really offer. I think those tweaks are enhancements, but I like the story in general.
I love Justiva's comment. My son wanted to play Guess the Number with the dice the other day and told me to take off my glasses for it. Guess the number, Mom. Him. I can't even tell. Dice are there, dear. Me. Haha. Thanks. Good luck reading, Mom.
I always say that's the hard part about glasses is when you take them off, you can't see to find them.
Yeah, we need like the clapper or something that beeps.
Oh yeah,
keep it on.
Or like the Apple like Find It tags.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I use that Find My Phone from my watch.
Oh God, I've done that, but now I've gotten to the point because it's kind of like an announcement to the whole house. Hey, I lost my phone. So now I'm like, no, I'm gonna find it on my own. Alex isn't gonna know I lost my phone again. Because it will call me out.
Funny.
Okay. Yes, Spencer took off my glasses at that very moment where we're talking about kids taking the glasses. So I'm going to try to sneak them back on so I can read this.
Hey.
What?
You can see it.
I got to see. Like, I was able to read partially the end of that, but to read Chandra's story, I got to be able to see. All right. Okay. Oh, by the way, chat, in case you don't know, I think most of y'all do. I did do my first narration of what was the first story? The Golden Bird from Grimm's Fairy Tales that aired on Friday. And I've already recorded the second one, which is Hans and Luck. And I'm giving myself a week to edit that. And but yeah, it's going to be an every Friday deal. Will be the next story in there.
I'm excited. I haven't heard the first one yet, but I saw that I saw it on your Instagram that you were posting it. So
the second one has a lot more voices, and I had to be creative with it. So we'll keep it going. And I'm using public domain pictures as well to kind of help spice it up. And so Josiva said they own some really old versions of Grimm's, and she's going to see if she can read it.
I love. Also, just as a sidebar, because I like to stir the pot. That's one thing that I was giving people a hard time about when they were like complaining about Ariel being brown now. And I was like, okay, that's your problem with a story. Do y'all know what the original story actually was? Because they made it into a nice little fairy tale, but I was like, the original story is dark.
So something. There you go. Something that I've been thinking about is like as I'm reading, especially this last one, Hans and Luck, it is so hard. Like I've thought about, I was like, do I want to make this a commentary narration? Because it is so difficult to not make comments while I'm reading.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, like because the Hans and Locke, it's an oblivious guy that thinks he's so lucky, but really he's a chump and people take advantage of him.
Oh, I don't think I've read that one.
Yeah, I'm learning some stories that I wasn't aware of. So okay,
I think it's funny that people don't realize the original story. Oh, The Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah,
Mermaid.
Very dark. Sleeping Beauty, isn't that one?
Sleeping Beauty is horrible. It's really bad. I mean, I like them better in the darker versions. Don't get me wrong, because I'm dark and twisty. But I do think it's funny when people change about fairy tales or change fairy tales being dark when, like, if you actually look at them, they are incredibly morbid most of the time. But I do have one that I'd like to recommend. This one's an Audible only book, and it's just some short stories. But let me see. I have it under classic fairy tale. No, come back. Classic fairy tales, because it's called The Lost Children. It's an Audible only book, but I definitely recommend it. I say it has actually a 3-star rating on Audible on Goodreads. People's biggest complaint about it was that the stories were very dark. But I 10 out of 10 would recommend it. I'm like, y'all haven't read the original Grimm's fairy tales? Because y'all be complaining about it being dark. That's really how most fairy tales work. I mean, even Gretel, and that's like dark.
I would even argue that Aesop's fables were dark in a way, because they're all supposed to be lessons, and you remember a lesson if it like jars you and go, "Ooh, I don't want that."
Exactly. That's why I think it's funny when people are like, "No, she didn't look like that." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." And in the book, she died. So,
just saying,
go away. But anyhow.
Okay, I'm gonna get your story now. Okay. Let me make sure I got my score right. All right. Admittedly, it was a harebrained scheme. He wasn't a shiny new entrepreneur. He was a seasoned businessman, and he knew what he was doing. Part of me was terrified that he would see me and practically hear the banjo playing. I was that country. But Bridget had reminded me that I was good at what I do. Yes, sweetie. Zoe's not what? Okay. She's supposed to be awake, though. Let her wake up, get some breakfast. 2 seconds. I gotta yell across this house. Don't worry, I'm gonna mute y'all. Okay. I'm sure that was comical for anyone who is like my hands on my mouth. Okay. Back to this. All right. I was that country, but Bridget had reminded me that I was good at what I do. They chose me for a reason, and I needed to trust that. Besides, she also said that it was more than skill. It was confidence too, and it didn't hurt that I was his type. She told me not to cover up who I was, to go in there and let my accent show. If anything, he might underestimate a country girl with a southern twang and long blonde hair. What the? Stop, cop. No. You can't use me as your inspiration for. Okay, sorry. I digress. The idea of him thinking less of me as a person and more of as an object gave me a strange sense of comfort in what we were doing. By the way, Zoe, I haven't read this before, so I apologize if anything's dark, twisted, or odd. Okay, my daughter came in. Wait. All right.
Oh yeah.
Comfort in what we were doing.
Trigger warning.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Trigger warning for anybody. All right. I stained on a bright vermilion lips and dressed in black. Not a dress. That would have been too obvious. But a low-cut shirt that... Stop! Low-cut shirt. All right. Subliminally, I got put in your story. All right. But a low-cut shirt that gave me a great advantage. It was the kind of thing that most people wouldn't think twice about, but with his reputation, part of me would have felt more comfortable in a hazmat suit. Yeah. After all, it wouldn't be far off. It wouldn't be far off to call him hazardous waste, but it would be a bit more difficult for me to do my job dressed like that. Bridget, bless her, had scheduled enough time for me to stop and get coffee, cold brew and sweet cream. The cashier smiled at me, looking me in the eye, and told me to have a good day. If this went badly, would he remember that I had been here? When I got to his office, he was ready for me. He had a picture spread out on his desk. His back was turned. He got right to the point. Mr. Smith, thank you for coming. I think it would... He turned around to look at me. Oh, wait, that's right, Southern Train. Mr. Smith, thank you for coming. I think it would... He turned around to look at me. I apologize. They told me that your name was Jane Smith, and I assumed. Happens all the time, I said, letting the drawl come out. He looked me up and down. I looked at the photos on his desk. They look a bit like me, don't they? He stepped forward. He stepped toward me. Closer than too close. Grabbed my wrist, drew my hands to his lips, kissed the back of it with wet lips. I guess he expected me to melt. I cleared my throat. Mr. Blackmore, those girls might be for sale, but I am not. I'd be happy to get you what you like, but I'm strictly hands off. A blush crept up his neck. Miss Smith, I've decided to modify our arrangement, he smiled. Dirty fingers that looked more like a clump of horseradish locked over my arms just as I felt a pinch at the base of my neck. I felt woozy, but I still had enough strength to whisper into the wire, the sparrow is falling. Bridget came back. I got you, Birdie. Ooh, I like this story. Don't like how I was subliminally put in this, or flattered that I was. If you put glasses on her, it would have been spot on. I'm just saying.
I didn't think about that. I was like, well, you better be okay with it.
Please. I'm fine. All right. Zoe, did you need something? My southerner just came out. See, this is what happens when I put it on for reading. Let's see. Yeah, get some breakfast. Wake up. You're cool. No rush. Later. Okay. Boy, You got my phone. You can go play. You got the TV if you want it. You have your golf that you've set up in the middle of the living room. You have things to play. And he runs away crying. Okay.
Because how dare you point out the obvious? That was rude.
Yes, dear.
I really want.
Yes, pancakes would sound great, but I'm live streaming, and we can't do it tomorrow because I'm also going to be live streaming. You cannot make the pancakes yourself. No. Sweetie. I know you know how, but sweetie, no. That is a lot of mess. It is a grab type situation. We got Pop-Tarts, we got donuts, we got cereal. God, why do I feel like the guy with the trench coat going, hey, what do you want? Breakfast bars. We got that. God, okay.
Eva, which interaction? Are we on the story or the breakfast?
Yeah.
Oh, the regular cry.
Yeah. All the interaction. All right. Okay. So the crying boy. Yeah, that one. I forgot about that interaction. That interaction I'm used to. And he cries away. Hey, but guess what? He's playing golf right now.
Hold
on his stomach, Piper. So he's not fully committed. He's laying on his stomach playing it.
Hold on a second. Piper just got up.
Okay. All right. I'm scrolling through to see if anything stands out. Chad.
Good morning.
Yeah, no worry, Eva. It's not the only child situation dealing with crying. All right. I like the imagery because we immediately knew Southern, or at least I did, when you said he would see me and practically hear a banjo playing. I was like, oh, she's Southern. I know it. And everything. I was a little confused at times that he was speaking.
Yeah. I realized that, especially with the cashier, because the cashier at the coffee shop was a guy. And then it went straight into her being in the office, and it didn't really differentiate there. And so it just went from he to then being in his office, and it was like, what?
Yeah. I didn't mind that and everything. Because you put the when I got to his office, so I knew there was a transition there. It was the Mr. Smith, thank you for coming. I think it would, and I think, maybe say his voice resonated from behind the chair.
What if I format it like that?
There, that would work. Yes. So all Chandra did, separated for anybody who is wondering how we edit these stories. So there was one line that said, Mr. Smith, thank you for coming. I think it would. And then it was a hashtag, not hashtag, God, a dash to show that the person cut themselves off. They were interrupted. And the interruption was the next line of, he turned around and looked at me. And that was a line on its own. But now being paired with the first line, it is a lot clearer of who's speaking and such. And of course, if anybody speaks out loud, they would always pre-read and know who's speaking when. So they told me your name is Jamie Smith. I think I said that wrong earlier or something. And I assumed. Okay. Happens all the time. Okay, so here I think we need to put I apologize with the other lines because otherwise it looks like she's speaking back with I apologize.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah. So either pair it together or something. So other than that, that was like my only mix up of like trying to figure out, it was a look who's talking situation.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is better. Mr. Smith, thank you for coming. I think it would. He turned around and looked at me. I apologize. They told me your name was Jamie Smith, and I assumed. And now she comes in. Happens all the time.
Hold on, I'm sharing my screen. that's my story. I got to, is it on Chrome or no, here. Okay. So I just got to figure out how do I zoom in. Oh, look here. Okay. So this is the part where it's Mr. Smith. Thank you for coming. I apologize. They told me your name was Jamie Smith and I assumed. That's what we're working on.
Yeah.
You
so
know, I need to make sure we start doing this when
together.
we read.
Ooh, that's a good idea so that people can see when we're like editing and moving around. I like that.
So that's where we're at. Other than that, I will say, so imagery, dirty fingers that looked more like a clump of horseradish. Isn't horseradish, doesn't it look like carrots a little bit, like pale carrots?
The ones that I pulled up were like they look like crusty old mummy fingers.
Okay. Yeah, then that's perfect. I'm just so used to seeing minced horseradish and stuff that I was like, that's the image that was in my head instead of the actual plant. But I was like, oh wait, the plant.
Yeah, it looks kind of like it's a little bit less knobby than ginger, but the same kind of coloration and tubular.
Gotcha. Yeah, Spencer. After she's done with breakfast. Okay, she's got to eat. Let her eat in peace. He wants her to play Roblox with him. Yeah. Okay. And then Zoe comes up and she's like, I woke up like 10 minutes ago. And I'm like, okay. Light into the day, kid.
Girl, same.
Yeah. Like, I you're not going to get sympathy, but at the same time, I did the same thing.
I texted Natalie this morning and I was like, hey, I got out of bed 5 minutes ago.
The funny thing is, when you text me, I was like, yeah, I'm rolling out of bed now. I stayed in bed for another 5 minutes. And then rolled out of bed, threw this on, put some lip color on, and moved on. Okay.
I like this way of doing it. I think we should share screen when we're
reading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then what I can do, since we're usually in the same thing, is that when you read mine, I can scroll and do mine like that.
I like it.
So
solid plan.
Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna stop sharing screen because I don't need to anymore. Now, all right, to let y'all know what's happening. I joined NYC Midnight's what is it called? Rhyming story challenge, which I'm excited for. And that challenge is, oh my God, all the things here. I gotta create a new document. All right, that challenge is to take 8 days to write 600 words maximum of a rhyming story. So a rhyming story, as it was described, is a poem with a plot. And but I have 3 things that I have to stick to, and I'm going to share that with you. The 3 things I have to do. Really? I made it a ticker? No. Edit. Come on. We're not playing this game. Edit. Sprint. Prompt. Prompt 2. All right. I got to type it out now. Rhyming story challenge. So I won't be able to read mine out loud, but we can read Chandra's. Ow, I can't type. This is awesome. Okay. So, prompt number 2 is the rhyming story challenge. The genre for myself is sci-fi. The theme is conservation, and the emotion is trusting. I got no clue where I'm going with this.
This is hard.
Yeah, like it's not going to be a full, complete story after just 30 minutes.
No. How many words is it supposed to be? I'm going to do it exactly like it's intended, but I'm just going to show mine since I'm not entering.
Yeah. It's going to be, it's a maximum of 600 words. So there's no way that in 30 minutes we'll have a finished thing. But we can at least have like an outline working with maybe a few phrases and such. So at this point, I think I'm going to spend this 30 minutes for the most part. I'll probably write some, but I'm mostly going to be brainstorming the whole spiel.
I don't know how I'm gonna do.
Here, if you want to draw on something, Spencer, you got that page. Dog, what do you need? You've been outside. Oh, sorry, you're typing it up, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Do
I
you want me
can
to put it in
copy
chat?
No, I'm going to copy it real quick and fix one thing because I noticed it and it bugged me, which is capitalized conservation because all the other
Why
ones are
is my
capitalized.
dog so cute? It's really.
Oh wait, is she curled up like she was?
Oh no, she's laying. She like tucks her legs all underneath her into the chair, and then she like has her chin resting on the arm of the chair like this, but you can't see any legs anywhere, and it's so cute. And she just stares at me with loving eyes. But yeah, either she's like laying on her back with all the legs in the air, or yes, Eva, she's doing a potato right now. She either does She either does that or it's all legs or no legs. And it's just the cutest thing I have ever seen. And sometimes I just stare at her and I get annoyed with how cute it is.
Oh. All right. So
I have a timer. Let me share a timer.
Yep. I am going to open up. Excuse my son. He's playing with my favorite pens in the world. So,
of course.
All right. I just got to
prepare yourself for the world's biggest trash can fire.
Yeah, I think I'm actually glad I'm not going to be posting this one, but I'm still going to have to talk about it and I'm still going to have to deal with it. But I'm glad I got 8 days. I got until October 1st to have this submitted. So,
but all of them have to rhyme.
Yep, it's got to be a rhyming story. So I got to figure out a cadence that I'm going to end up doing, stanzas and stuff, and yeah, we're gonna think. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of rhyming and such, story number 2 in the Grimm's Fairy Tales, Hans and Luck, that will air next Friday. You get to hear me sing. You've been warned, or you got something to look forward to. I don't know which will apply to you, but yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh, let me rewind this timer. Okay, we're doing it. Are you ready? I'm never gonna be ready for this.
I'm never gonna be ready either, but I decided let me just start with saving the last story and then I'll press forward with this one.
Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. This is really hard and I'm not enjoying it.
I'm glad I did a brainstorm because, woo. Yeah. I'm jumping over to Gmail to get your story again because I closed it earlier like a dum-dum. I've been doing a lot of research in this time, though. I got a premise. And I have a battle cry.
To be honest, I'm really glad that I didn't enter in this one.
Yeah.
To be honest, because
oh, I already know I'm not gonna win already. But this is a good challenge, and I'm glad that I can give y'all a prompt and everything to utilize and be a part of.
It's just so difficult. Anyhow, carry on. It's not finished. I know where I'm going with it, but I'm on the struggle bus, and it's a very simple AABB rhyme scheme. The story is there. It is what it is, and I haven't read. That's the thing. I'm doing this blind. I haven't even read very many examples. Most of the examples I have read are like kids' books.
Yeah.
So I've done zero research. This is me just going out there and living dangerously. So
yes,
you can
completely
look at
fine.
it. I have the last line, which is separated. Oh, I mean, you're gonna pull it up on screen, so you'll see.
Yeah, I got it.
But I have the last line is how I want it to end. But now I'm like, and I got that before I, had after I'd written a bit, but I hadn't quite gotten how I'm going to get to that last line, basically. So there's a few more stanzas that'll come, and one of them is partially written.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to share the screen so I can read this. We can talk it through, and then y'all can help me brainstorm mine. Why does it do that? I have the screen up, everything open, and then it like shoves it to the side and pulls up my Word doc. And I'm like, no, I have this one for a reason. Okay. Chandra's rhyming story. Hopefully I get the cadence right. We've just begun to celebrate the birthday of the stars and watching them streak across the sky from Jupiter and Mars. So in the night and the dawning day, we laugh and watch them set and bridge the past with what is now and struggle to forget. Our crew has trained and traveled far, the best at what they do. And all that's left to do, my dear, is that I must leave you. I cannot say that I'll return. I don't know what we'll see. I'm going so you'll have the chance to live on and be free. Embracing all that is to come, we'll sail into the night. We cannot stay just as we were. We have to do what's right. No, things will not remain the same no matter how we yearn. It is time to change our world and long past time to learn. Our ships can tame the stratosphere and reach for outer space. We aim them for emptiness and learn what we must face. There is no going back again. Our planet is at stake. This is the only chance we have. The sacrifice we'll make. I hope that one day, not too long, you'll understand my choice. And wherever you may be, you'll listen to my voice. And those who have not cherished it and used it as a toy, and then that's the unfinished one. The last line is, be better to the worlds we find. Take care of our new earth. I like that last line. The last stanza, I understand. I love it. It is a clear stanza. I had no problem with the cadence whatsoever. I will say that I didn't get much of a story. Like it took a lot of stanzas to get the story and everything. Where I was expecting, like sometimes, like we'll take children's books up for example. You're clear in like the first 3 lines what's going on and everything. Like think of Green Eggs and Ham and everything. We pretty much know the setup there.
I've never read Green Eggs and Ham. Wait, did I? If I did, it was a very long time ago, and I think I only read it once.
Yeah. Or any of the Dr. Seuss books are good examples, mostly for the rhyming, but also for like you kind of understand like this. It's usually an omniscient narrator that says there was two ducks on a pond or something like that, like kind of sets the scene.
So I wrote this more from the perspective of it being a letter.
Yeah, and I got that near the end because we got the we and everything, but once we get to I, saying when we get to the I must leave you in the second stanza, I cannot say that I'll return. But then actually that gets confusing. I just realized it's like I got to do this, I got to go and everything, and then it's like we aim the ship for emptiness. And I'm like, so why are they going two different directions? So that part's a little
okay, yeah. I don't know how I would do that. I think because it's like this person is in a crew, and this crew is part of a group, and they're all kind of scattering across the solar system and out from the solar system really out into space looking for new habitable planets. And this is a specific person who's like talking about the mission, but also like leaving a message for their child to say, you know,
do better.
Yeah. Well, here's where I'm going. Here's why. And, you know, even though I'm not going to be there, do better than we've done.
Yeah.
Was kind of but I don't think, I don't know that I like I can do poetry, but I don't know that I like the stories like that. Maybe I just haven't read enough.
I think with this, the only thing's missing is a twist and stuff. Like, you know, like what if this person, what if this person is actually going away to find the new Earth, and this is their parting letter because they don't think they'll return, but they hope.
That's kind of my intention, but then
like think Interstellar. Did you ever watch that movie?
Love that movie.
Okay. Such a good movie. So he left knowing that he was probably never going to see his kids, but this was well, actually he didn't know, he found out later. But that the whole premise is that we will do anything for our kids, but there's a disconnect for future generations. So this person, the narrator, actually knew that they weren't coming back and leave this note for their kids of hoping that whatever they're on the search for, they'll find, and the kids will go to it. And they will be better and do better. And so it's kind of his parting letter of like, trust me, I'm going to take care of you even though I'm not there. And so that can be the story. But if we want to add a twist, here's an idea. The kid is a stowaway on the ship.
Ooh.
Because they didn't want to be left behind. I
think I would have to change the POV.
Yeah.
But then it's going to be hard to like give it I don't know. Because then like so my impulse with what I have written is to burn it with fire.
We'll just save it in the special folder where we hold things that we don't want to see ever again.
Yeah. And then that's the thing that's weird about it is there's nothing wrong with it, and it's not bad. And I did a good job. I just hate it.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like there's nothing I would change in it and everything. There was parts that confusing to me. It's the foundation, and now we're going to try again. Like it's a good attempt. Just like whatever I end up coming up with, it's a good attempt.
Yeah, it's like
let's try again in the future.
I think that's what it is. I did a good job, but I don't want to work on this.
Yeah.
I think that's the distinction.
And I think also, so you did different than I, where you went straight into writing it, whereas I have been doing brainstorming and writing notes and such. And now I have this passion for the story. And I think that is helpful. Is doing the research. So if you did research and everything with stuff that you want to write about and then write it, I think the passion would be shifted appropriately.
Maybe I'll try that, because I don't know. I'm supremely uninspired by what I have written thus far.
I will say that you are hitting the marks of sci-fi, conservation, trusting is now that I understand it's the child, and I think the future stanzas would be like actually say my child or something like that. That would hold that, and it's like trust. It kind of trust me, my child. Which almost sounds Catholic priest or whatever, but it would convey all the points and everything. Oh, where's my mouse? There it is. Okay. I still think it has merit.
I appreciate that. You know what'd be fun? Remember how we did that challenge where you take something that I wrote and you like run with it? Yeah. Why don't you do that?
Do this. I don't want to look at it. Please do
Take it and finish my homework.
All right, that's how I do it. Okay. Well, I have an idea for mine. We got enough time. Okay, so I was kind of going a Dune aspect, but I'm not sure if I'm going sci-fi enough. The aspect I'm going with is scarcity of water and everything. So here's the ideas that I have, and it's just kind of piecemeal right now, but everyone has a water bottle and they can only fill it up twice a day. I don't know how big it's going to be, but it's not going to be much. It might be like 12-ounce can size or something like that, and they can only fill it up. But pregnant and breastfeeding women or breastfeeding women can fill up 3 times a day. And that's the limit. And I might even specify kids having less, or maybe no, they're growing. They can have 2. So they boil water for dinner, like if it's pasta or something, and the steam is captured to drink later. And then the water with the pasta is used to water the plants and everything. So that's conversation. And then also baths are allowed once a week, 1 tub per family. Everyone sponges themselves clean. And then the water is recycled to the toilets, and stuff so it's this major conservation. The people are told that the wells are dry and the sea water is our only option. So there's multiple distilleries, but it's to get fresh water from the seawater. And there's multiple jobs, and everyone lives on the coast, but the coast is actually expanded because the sea level is going down, and such. And through my research, I found, I don't know how much seawater you start out with. Hey, research gal, maybe you can help me here. So they said in 12 hours, you can get 4 to 8 ounces of fresh water from vapors. But I don't know how much seawater you got to start out with to get that much. And everything. So I've been trying to figure out the ratio so I can get a timeline and think about how many distilleries they need and so on and so forth. But here's the I looked up signs of dehydration: dark yellow, strong smelling pee, dizzy, lightheaded, tired. And then I was like, oh, what if people randomly take naps and it's just socially acceptable that people are in the middle of the fields working and they're taking naps because they're so dehydrated. Tired, random naps, peeing very few times, 4 times or less a day, children crying but not producing tears, fever, muscle weakness, and headaches. And then here's my twist: the leaders wear gloves, and they say it's because they're going between the distilleries, the farmlands, the cooks and stuff, and they don't want to contaminate between them. It's really to hide the incision of where they get daily IV fluids because the wells are not dry. They're using the wells to make distilled water for IV fluids, like with that, I think it's sodium chloride. I've been doing research of how to make stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they wear gloves, is to hide the IV.
So even though
thing.
they walk around with like their regulated amount of water, they're getting regular IVs, so they're not.
Exactly. They're not as dehydrated as everybody else.
Hmm.
Not as tired. And that's the twist. So then the line that I have in quotations is, they're putting a cost to water, and the cost is our life.
Ooh.
And that's the profile.
I will do some digging on the water stuff because I enjoyed the research.
Yeah.
And I will see what I find.
Yeah, I just got to find out. Yeah, of how much seawater, because there's two ways to get seawater to be freshwater. There is membrane, where it like goes through many filters, which I think could be an option that this world could have. But then there's also the thermal, where it's like the vapors of it boiling, and you capture the vapors, and the vapors are freshwater. But what's boiled is actually more salty than what is in the sea, so you can't drink that.
My question would be, are there any other restrictions on how they can process things? Because they might do it through filtration, but like, what is the economic cost of filtration versus collecting the vapor? And maybe determine what is their primary means of filtering the seawater and why.
Okay.
That way you can narrow it down and choose a method based off of the society that they live in and what would make sense for that society, and then concentrate your research on that means.
Yeah.
And also, are there people who are like stealing water, who are like going through different ways to make?
That's where I'm thinking is the main character. I haven't put a name to them, but they're going to kind of discover the stockpile of IV fluids and stuff. They're going to unfold this.
I feel like they should be like doing something illegal when they find it.
Oh, I like that twist. Okay. Now here's the thing. And I'm wondering how the hell I'm going to fit this in 600 words now. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, they live on the coast because they got to be near seawater to make fresh water and such. And I was like, I'm at a loss. And I'm like, is this sci-fi enough? Because it's really more post-apocalyptic almost.
Post-apocalyptic is a subgenre of sci-fi.
Okay. Because I was like, do I need a spaceship here or something? Aliens come down? Whatever.
Nope.
Okay, cool. All right, well then I got it. And I got conservation, and it's more of it's trusting, and then the twist is the betrayal trust, really, is when they discover that. So, okay. Doing something illegal when discovering IV stockpile.
And part of sci-fi can be like the fantasy aspect of like alien races and stuff like that, or it can also be the technological aspect. So maybe, although you'll do research around how the water is purified, it could be that it's purified by a means that we don't have right now.
Oh.
So you may get to determine exactly how you want it to be.
Yeah, and actually that would create a more sci-fi element, because like we have iodine tablets to make to like for fresh water, like spring water and stuff, and and you're supposed to let it rest to so that it's drinkable and won't harm you. And then so I could do something like that where it's not, maybe the family gets, instead of like each family gets a set number of tablets for drinking water, and that equals to the amount of a full water bottle that they have, and the tablets are distributed.
And maybe the quality of water that they're getting isn't actually very high, like there's still a level of salt in it, so they're medicated with tablets that help them like pass the extra salt.
Yes,
without
because
it getting mixed.
kidneys cannot filter salt water.
Mm-hmm. And so like make a balance of that, and then there could be added side effects that are caused by the fact that there's still some salt in the water. It's not completely purified, and there's the side effects of the medication or whatever they're taking to help them process the salt or whatever.
Yeah.
And that the people who are able to get IVs they have like none of those side effects. Like, yes, they're still drinking the water, but the water maybe that they're drinking is actually still pure water.
Yeah. So side effects, I just got to think of side effects. The first side effect I have is like yellow skin, but I'm thinking it's got to be a side effect that the leaders are going to fake, but then it turns out to be fake. Like if it's a jaundice situation, though, jaundice, that's usually your liver failure, not the liver is part of filtration. I could see them maybe always like tanning their skin or something like in a way, but it's not a tan.
Ooh, so like getting a spray tan to cover up the symptom, kind of,
or no, to make it seem like they have the symptoms. So it's not the tan that we have today. It's a spray tan to look yellow, so they look jaundiced.
So they're dyeing their skin.
They're dyeing their skin to look like they are jaundiced like everyone else, but they're actually healthy. I like this.
Well, I think it'd also be kind of cool if the main character discovers ways in which they're being wasteful with water. So it's like adding insult to injury.
Yeah.
Like not only finding the supply, but also seeing that they're using it in kind of disrespectful ways.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do like the idea of you creating your own way in which they purify water.
Yeah, that makes it better and everything. I just hope this isn't too similar to Dune, and I think it's okay so far.
No, because in Dune they have the aspect of like taking a body and processing it to break it down to preserve the water from that person.
Oh, yeah.
And you haven't got that, or the still suit where it like recaptures the vapor from them breathing and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I think I got some good meat and potatoes here. Now I just got to write it.
Ooh, one other thing that you might add in there is a note about how there's like propaganda around how it's like totally fine, but everybody knows it's not because they still get sick. And that they're like, oh, you get water out of your food, and so you really don't need, whatever the true recommended amount of water is for people. And they're like, yeah, you're getting water out of your food, and people are like, right, but everyone has kidney stones now, so.
Water is in fruit. Okay, I'm thinking of like the propaganda that's going to be on the posters and stuff like that. Like, conserve more, water is in fruit.
Yeah.
And thinking of some other areas. And okay, I got a few ideas. If anything, I'm going to be cutting out stuff because to fit this in 600 words is going to be interesting now. Everything, but some of it can be showing and stuff like the broader propaganda can be showing as the person sneaking to go do whatever illegal activity they're about to do and stuff, and they can pass by the water propaganda, which will tell more about the world.
Yeah, I mean, part of it can be world building, part of it can be like implied stuff, part of it's just going to be backstory of like stuff that you know about the story that the reader doesn't necessarily know, but give you inspiration. And also some of it may just be ideas that you discard and you're like, that doesn't fit for this.
Well, one thing's for sure, you're going to get it sent to you to proofread when I'm done.
Just let me know.
Yeah, I know the deadline's October 1st, so I'm going to try to have it done, actually, like the first draft done by the end of this weekend. So, It'll work. But all right. Thank you everybody for coming. Chandra's links are down below, as are mine. And please feel free to sign up for my monthly newsletter. If you go to NatalieLockeBooks.com, which is linked down below, and click on newsletter, you can see last month's newsletter as well as sign up at the bottom of that page, and you'll get this month's newsletter on September 30th. I'm doing a live stream with Zara tomorrow morning at 9. And then I got Twitch at 7 p.m. like I always do. What do you got, Chandra?
At this point, I don't have anything. I'm pretty focused on getting my life back together as far as school goes. So I've been pretty busy with that. Of course, next Saturday, my channel, Flash and Live, will be there at 8:30. And anything I have coming up, as I get things sorted, I will keep you all updated.
Oh, and for anybody wondering, yes, we have 24 stories left, 24 prompts left in Write the Book, which means if you could count it out of doing a prompt Saturday and Sunday for the next few weeks, we will be doing our final prompts from the book, the last 3, on December 10th, Saturday. So just throwing that out there. It's going to be a fun day. We might even convince Chandra to take off work. Maybe, possibly. And also celebrating her being done with school by that point.
Yes.
We are all working towards the goals.
Yes, we will be done with school.
It works. But yes, thank you for everybody coming, and we will see you next week. Bye, dears.
Bye.
I gotta